This video is going to be a film study look at how Rashod Bateman generated the game-winning touchdown catch against the Cincinnati Bengals last Thursday night in Week 10 to push the Ravens' record to 7-3. Lamar Jackson was able to find him on a little drag that turned into a fade-esque type route by Rashod Bateman and a fadeaway look from Lamar Jackson. Bateman finished with 6 of 8 catches in the game-winning touchdown catch. The thing that I think, two things I want to mention here to give credit to Rashod Bateman is he had 3 catches on that drive, the game-winning touchdown drive, to go up 35-28 before the defense, quote, held on. And the great thing is, the play before his game-winning touchdown catch, he had the football in his hands. A pretty good route against DJ Turner as well. I think a design play to come back to him on the backside. And he's open. Maybe the ball was thrown a foot or two on the backside a little bit, but definitely one that can be caught. He had the ball in his hands, no negative body language after what I would consider a drop. You may not, and I don't know if officially it was attributed as one, but no negative body language. In the very next play, a 3rd and goal, mind you, tied at 28, he's able to get open against CTB on an adjustment and just flush it, move on to the next play. So what? I dropped the ball in the end zone. I'm going to secure this football and secure the win for my team. I think it says a lot about him where he is this year. As a receiver heading into the Steelers game where we had a significant number of drops last year, I think Rashod Bateman has the ability to have a really good game against them, particularly if he gets a certain matchup. But this is the game-winning touchdown catch. We'll let it flow through one time. Bateman is clearly down here at the bottom of the screen. He gave CTB problems. He gave him problems last year, even though the stats didn't necessarily warrant it out. He gets it right around in this area, puts his foot in the ground, and comes back to this direction as Lamar is able to escape. And there's going to be conflict on one of the Bengals DBs. I think it might be Geno Stone, but I could be wrong. He doesn't know what to do. Do I come forward at Lamar? Do I worry about the pass coverage behind me? Ends up being an easy touchdown for Rashod Bateman on a floater from Lamar. Going to review some of these catches in the second half here before we come back to that game-winning touchdown catch. He did a lot of work on 3rd downs, and he did a lot of work in the second half. Like I said, 3 catches on that drive to win the game. We're down 21-7. We actually don't score on this possession. We're down 21-7. It's a 3rd and 4. That's the route that he kind of runs into the right hash. If Lamar had been able to get back here sooner, he probably throws this ball. Now, the ball's probably out by now. You can see the safety is driving on it, so it's going to be a catch and then collision beyond the sticks, though. That's one thing I like about it. It is beyond the sticks, the route by Bateman, that is. Again, this is a 3rd and 4. Lamar initially looking up here. And so when Bateman flashes open right in this window here, Lamar is just a split second coming back to that, and his body's not necessarily in position to throw it, so it's not clean. Lamar ends up moving outside and then across his body finding Bateman. Strong catch with his hands in a big situation. Again, we didn't score on the possession, but we are able to generate a 1st down there. This is the same play from the end zone angle, by the way. Another example of what I like to call a 3+1. So 3-man rush by the Bengals, and then your add-on is your QB spy. You can see Lamar looking in this direction first. Doesn't feel like he has anything available. Comes back pretty quickly, but by that time, Bateman's route was so abrupt, so quick, that he wasn't able to get it in that window, but finds him in the second window as Geno Stone tries to close down, misses the tackle, ends up being a 9-yard gain. To see Bateman be utilized on 3rd downs and in these clutch situations, I think says a lot about the trust that Lamar has. And we were clearly trying to target the backside. So when I say backside, I mean 3 receivers to the field because the ball was on the left hash. We went back here. Well, Tylan Wallace's 84-yard touchdown was to the backside, away from the passing strength. We clearly were going at the backside corner. In many cases, it was Cam Taylor-Britt, and in fact, he was the guy in coverage on Tylan Wallace's 84-yard touchdown. Strong tackle here. These guys are spinning around like 3 times almost, it seems like. It's a 1st and 10. We do score on this drive. This is after Marlon's forced fumble that we were able to recover. We're down 21-7. We, of course, go down and get a score to pull to within 21-14. Now, this is 2 plays before we're moving forward here because we're just talking about Bateman. This is an example of what I'm talking about on the backside. Now, it's a short gain. 2 plays from now, however, it's pretty much the same setup as when we hit Tylan Wallace for the long touchdown. Lamar and Todd Monken and the Ravens offense They went to the backside. I would say this may be the game we went to the backside of three receiver formations, more so than perhaps any time in the last 2 years. Just to make sure I'm being clear, the ball's on the left hash. So when I say going to the backside, I mean away from the passing strength. You've got three receivers to the wide side of the field and Derrick Henry on the same side. So bunch A on a 1st and 10. Lamar, a short gain to Rashod Bateman. Another strong catch with his hands holding on to the football. We're going to have to, I think, win some of these matchups on the outside against the Steelers. I'm still probably 3-4 hours away from getting a preview done about the Steelers offense. Then I'll try to move on to the Steelers defense for Friday and for Saturday. This is a 3rd and 6 in the fourth quarter. We're now tied at 28. So this is after Tucker missed his extra point, and then after Mark Andrews is able to score on the mesh adaptation or adjustment, and then Lamar gets in for the 2-point conversion to make it 28-21. Jamar Chase scores about 8 seconds later. 3rd and 6 here, 28-28 tie. Like I said, 5 minutes left in the game, and it's a big moment, if you ask me. If we have to punt the ball here, do you have any confidence that we get a stop? I mean, I don't even need to tell you my opinion, but it's a little wonky here, this exchange between Andrews and Bateman. But I love the route concept, and it's against the Tampa too. So Logan Wilson is opening his hips to the passing strength, and then he's getting depth, and Bateman is going to cross underneath of, I think this is 38. There's Bateman crossing underneath of him. Zay Flowers over the top. So basically, the way this works out, Zay Flowers ends up occupying that deeper inside linebacker, Logan Wilson. Bateman sits down in the middle. This is Lamar's jump pass before they make contact with him. 3rd and 6. That is a big moment that we're able to convert the first down well, and then we go down and score to make it 35-28 on the touchdown catch to Bateman that I'm getting ready to show you again. Same play, end zone angle, 3rd and 6. Like I said, threatening the blitz with Logan Wilson, and then they're going to drop him out of here. He becomes the deep middle third player in a Tampa 2. That math doesn't work, but essentially it's the way you kind of describe it to kids when you're teaching it. Lamar isn't throwing this ball in this window yet. I think he's just now deciding that he wants to get it to Bateman, but I know that he recognizes it's a Tampa 2. There is a Bengals player here that I think Lamar is unsure about what that guy's going to do, so there's a little bit of a pump fake, and then throws it away from that defender. So this is the guy that I'm talking about. Lamar threw it to this side so that Bateman could go get it away from that defender. It's one of the things that I appreciate about Lamar that I've seen over the years. It's not just improvement this year and last year. He's been doing these things, meaning throwing it away from the defender so that his receiver can go get it. 3rd and 6. Bateman wide open underneath that Tampa 2 gets us 12 yards. Had 3 catches on the drive. Did have the drop in the end zone that I'll spend a minute or two talking about as well. Another example of us attacking to the backside. Ball on the right hash, bunch, 3 receivers to the field, and there's Bateman backside into the boundary. Whatever we saw on film and whatever the Bengals did during the game, those things matched up. There was alignment because we absolutely attacked over there, and at least for the 2 games we've seen Bateman against CTB at home the last 2 years, he's given him problems. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I believe that Bateman and Flowers were 14 of 14 catches in our Week 5 win on the road in Cincinnati. So really, we've given their outside corners problems. Lamar briefly looked to this side, and I think he's just trying to get these guys moving in that direction because Pratt is a guy that gets moved by Lamar's face mask almost immediately. Backside, quick completion to Bateman, 15 yards after he makes CTB miss. Probably my favorite element here of Bateman's game-winning touchdown catch is the history of certain drops at certain times, particularly the Steelers game last year. Him not catching this football on a cheat play. So this is Henry out into the flats. Lamar's going to reverse pivot. And watch the little move Bateman puts on DJ Turner right around in this area. Basically hedging in this direction, not as much as I just drew that line, but just enough such that he wins completely and makes himself available for the football. Is it too far behind him? Is it a bad throw? I mean, I don't know. I just think you should catch the football. But this little move right there allows him so much space. And it's a front side play, so we've got Andrews, we've got Flowers, Henry running out in the flats. Lamar potentially could get out and run. I like the design of it. Kolar out in front blocking, and Lamar comes back to the last option, and it's in his hands to win the game or at least give us a lead, and he drops it. I like that there's no negative body language. There's no sulking. I know he's a professional athlete, and you shouldn't see those things at all. We have in the past, let's just be real. The very next play comes back against, and look, I don't think CTB has played anywhere near to the level of the opinion that I hold of him, but he's still a tough corner. He still played well for large stretches of Thursday night's game, and Bateman wins clean. I think Bateman is running a drag all the way across the field, and right around here either recognizes the coverage, or maybe this is designed. This could be designed, and I'm open to that explanation and that possibility. It certainly looks great, the way that it works out. All of these guys putting their foot in the ground and then coming back in this direction. Okay, the space that Bateman has created here between him and CTB. Again, not trying to be disrespectful, but he's really given Cam Taylor problems in the last 2 years, and we gave him problems in week 5, and we certainly gave him problems on Thursday night. Lamar with the little touch pass, holding it up in the air. I guess he called game. End zone angle so you can see it. I'm excited for Rashod Bateman to see what he can become. 6 catches in these moments, especially in the second half, I think speaks volumes about what he's capable of, what Lamar trusts him to do, what Todd Monken trusts him to do. And then on top of that, Tylan Wallace looked good as well as a backside X. The crazy thing is, and some of you will agree with this, some of you will not, even though I think Bateman played really well, I'd like to see Tylan Wallace get more reps. I'd like to see Tylan Wallace get more snaps. He's done some good things this year in the pass game. And also, remember his block in overtime against the Bengals on the road, the win in week 5 that I talked about a moment ago. He's a football player. He's a good football player, and he makes plays. I'd like to see us get him on the field more. I think he's an underrated element in the pass game for us. Recall in preseason, I had done some film study videos on him basically saying when you watch him against preseason guys, I'm talking about first quarter preseason guys, so backups, occasional third stringers, he just looks like he doesn't belong on the field. He looks like Zay Flowers played in the preseason. He looks like Rashod Bateman played in the preseason. I think Tylan Wallace can contribute, and the crazy thing is at the same time that that's occurring or that's happening and we're realizing that, Rashod Bateman's playing really well too. These are fun videos to produce. One Play Wednesday is supposed to be shorter content. This one ended up being, somewhat long form, so forgive me for that. Let me know what you think of Bateman's play in the comment section. Him having 6 catches, winning a lot on the backside, making himself available twice in the final minutes of the game. Unfortunately, dropped the first one, took advantage of the second one. Going into the Steelers game, we're going to need some wins by him and Flowers and Tylan Wallace and Nelson Aguilar on the outside or against nickel defenders with this Steelers defense being so tough and so hard-nosed. We're going to need some of those guys to win. I do think big plays are there this week for the taking. Appreciate you guys' time, man. If you think other Ravens fans would enjoy this look at one play and then a bunch of others involving Rashod Bateman from Thursday night's win last week in Week 10, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.